This is kind of a cool view. All right, let's switch things up a little bit. We're continuing in our study, okay, of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. If you want to be a Millionaire Real Estate Agent, it's going to take a little time. It's going to take a little effort. However, it is very doable, right? So we covered some of the models: budget model, organization model, lead gen model, economic model. Now, Chapter 11, MREA, is economic models. The multi-million agent business economic model. See, when you start out in real estate, you are first a realtor. You first have to learn how to sell. I went through these steps. You have to build your foundation. Now, maybe for some realtors, they just come in, I don't know, maybe they have a foundation already and the business blows up. If it's not like that for you, like it wasn't like that for me, you have to start off as a salesperson. Build your career, grow it, grow your client database, grow your trust, build your business honestly, and then you implement this book. What do you think? You're just going to read this book like Ben Kenny and go from zero to hero? That's why he's probably one of the only few, right? It doesn't work like that for everybody. But it could. So you just got to pay attention. So Chapter 11 talks about Model 1, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent Economic Model. The four models of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent are the same four models we've been discussing. At the millionaire level, the difference is not in the models, but in the issues and numbers you will need to fully execute them. What happens is once you're a salesperson, you grow your business, you save your money like we talked about, then you go into the bigger models. Now you have people. Now you have bigger expenses. Now you have a lot more output, right? Now you're adding marketing. Now you do it plus prospecting-based marketing enhanced, all that stuff. But now you got to know your numbers. So what we did in our business, our whole business, one thing people always say about my brother and I is they really know their numbers. We would track everything. Appointments, how many appointments went on, conversions. We didn't know, we didn't necessarily go off the book, but the reason we tracked those numbers is because at the time they were very important. They still are. So gross commission income minus cost of sales minus operating expense equals your net income, okay? Now we're playing big. We're playing big games, right? This is where you have people working for you. You know, these days, teams are what brokerages used to be, okay? In essence, the split's a 50-50. They give you a bunch of tools. You get leads. You get opportunities. You grow your business. And brokerages are now brokerages, you know? If you really understand how real estate works, don't worry about anything else or what anyone else is doing. Just worry about growing your own ability to get more sales, to get things done, you know? So let's continue. So gross commissions plus income minus operating expense equals revenue. Gross commission is based on assumed 6% total commission with 3% to the buyer side. Cost of sales is related to the amount of money paid to a listing specialist and the commission split between paid to a buyer specialist. For example, a talented listing specialist will cost you between $65,000 to $100,000, and a conservative high-end assumed for all calculations. For the buyer side, assumed a 50-50 split for buyer specialists on teams. Now, if you're talking about owning a business, that's a cost of sale, that 50% that you're paying out to buyer's agents, right? Listing agents could cost you much less and a higher output. So operating expenses are all other costs doing business, including marketing, rent, salaries, equipment and supplies, advertising, etc. Because as your business grows, you have to start having operating expenses. If you think of any business, for them to be a business, they have to spend money on the business. In real estate, we don't necessarily pay attention to that, but we should start. Net income is the amount of profit your sales business earns because you are following the Millionaire Real Estate model to pull you through smaller goals. Your net income goal will always be $1 million goal, right? So that means you got to do 2.4 million in GCI minus 700 in cost of sales minus 700K in operating expense will net the company $1 million. Right? Here's the chart. The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. That's the chart. Here's the breakouts. Now, once you track your numbers and your business is growing, to do $1 million in commissions, your team, your company would have to be doing at least 250 to 500 sales, depending on your sales price, right? And that's where it's so important. It's so important to really know your numbers. It's really important to know your numbers because look at this, right? Depending on your price point, right? If your price point is 250, which is the national average at the time, 240, you would have to do 332 transactions, right? And that's what you got to pay attention to. How many buyer and seller appointments must you go on, right? We all think real estate is so easy. Everybody can do it. Yet when you look at statistics, most people don't have the amount of money in the bank that it looks like we all have, right? On social media, right? That's the thing about it. You don't know. However, if you want to build an honest big business where you're actually making a good amount of money, for me, it just happens to be that it's staggered. You build one next level on top of the next level on top of the next level. You don't go from 0 to hero. It just doesn't work like that. And so many realtors and so many people come to you and they go, how can you do it? We're 11 years in the business, working hard every year, taking very few vacations until the last 2 to 3 years. That's how you do it. Let's continue. You need approximately from the buyer side and the seller side 27 listings a month, 27 closings a month, which inevitably means that your buyer appointments have to be 25%, right? 25 buyer appointments, 26 seller appointments. If you think about that, the reason they have to be 26 is because if you go on 26 appointments for each buyer and seller in one single month, right, your team, that's what you have to do. You take 26. By the time you get to the closing part where the deal closed, only 16 of those are going to close. And the reason is because most of the stuff falls apart. Some falls apart from the time you sign the contract to the time they decide to work with you. Some fall apart from the time you're working with them to it's not closing. They went with somebody else. It's real estate, right? And that's another thing. If you want to be successful in this business, in real estate, right, according to this book, and according to my own experiences, you got to stop taking things personally. That's been really tough for me to do because, you know, sometimes when your best friend doesn't buy a house with you or a good friend of yours doesn't sell a house with you or even your sister and your brother-in-law don't buy a house with you, your feelings could get hurt. And the more business you do, the more you are able to control your feelings because you realize that, hey, it's not the last deal. It's not the end of the world. And all those people end up doing business with you again. If they don't do every deal with you, that's fine. Don't take it so personally. Just keep working hard and keep putting in your time. And eventually, you'll be doing what we're doing at DNA Realty Group. We're growing our business exponentially. We're growing it by the book, basically. And we're truly doing it step by step by step. And we haven't skipped much of the process. Actually, I learned so much in the process that I think our journey is the most honest one where we can actually teach agents how to become the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, right? Because last year we did 80 deals, and this year we're going to break that. And I can see it growing at this point, and used to be where we couldn't get a single commission check, right? And that's the issue that most realtors are having. On DNA Realty Group, I'm actually super proud of Michelle on our team. She is outperforming most agents, and before she joined the team, she didn't even have a deal, I think, put together. So I know because of our journey, we're able to help people. But this book lays out a lot of the stuff that you should do. I just think don't forget the fact that you have to be prospecting based and marketing enhanced. I think people really lose sight of that. You gotta work. That just means you gotta work. Prospecting is working. But if you start your business prospecting and then enhance it by marketing, then you're unstoppable, because now you know how to do the business. Now you know how to treat the clients. In order to prospect and prospect well, you really, really have to, guess what you have to do? You have to know simply how to be a good salesperson, because nobody's going to talk to you if you don't know what you're saying. And that's what prospecting is. You have to learn how to communicate, which means you got to study, which means you got to improve your skills. All right, so that's chapter 11, Millionaire Real Estate Agent Economic Model. Obviously, we do business in Massachusetts and New Hampshire. I do this for free. If you have any business you want to send to us, my name is Dave, DNA Realty Group. My contact info will be in the description box thing. Super fun. I love teaching this. The Millionaire Real Estate Agent is a great book. Get the one with the tabs. Somebody tell me how I could get paid for it. All right, good luck, everyone. That's chapter 11, and let's keep going.